How did I become a vampire? The war, it's been raging for 13 years now. I've been here for 6 of them, in a land I don't even know. Just because our lords can't agree, does that mean the little farmer doesn't matter to them? Yes, that's exactly what it means, and the same goes for the injured or crippled. Today, it got me. An arrow struck my shoulder, and another hit my leg. Somehow, I managed to crawl into a bush to hide. If I'm lucky, I might survive. The battle still rages around me, so many will never return home. It was nearly dark, and the fighting had moved on. My hope of surviving grew with every passing minute, until he appeared. A man dressed entirely in black. He was tall and clad like a noble. What was someone like him doing on a battlefield? Then he saw me. I knew my final hour had come. He walked straight toward me. "Don't be afraid, young man. It will all be over soon," he said to me. His eyes glowed red, and then I saw his teeth, long, sharp fangs. "What are you?" Those were my last words. He bent over me, and his fangs pierced my neck. I lost consciousness. Everything went dark, but I could still feel his cold breath on my neck. So this is what death feels like. I woke up a short time later, and the tall man was lying on top of me, impaled by a spear. It must have been a rider passing by, assuming he was a looter. That often happens after a battle, bodies are robbed in the night. Something dripped into my mouth, but it didn't taste like water. What was it? I had to swallow to avoid choking. It was his blood. I had to swallow it again and again, but I was too weak to push him off me. I felt so powerless. Then I heard a soft voice. "Stefan, where are you?" "You fool, I've been looking for you all this time, and here you are, amusing yourself with a wounded man?" "Oh, there you are. Damn it, you've been hurt. Come on, let's get that spear out of you and get out of here. The sun will rise soon, and it wouldn't be good for anyone to see us here." I felt the newcomer lift his injured companion off me and simply walk away with him. Now I could move my head, so I turned to see where the two had gone. There was the forest, where the battle had raged, so they must have hidden there. I was lucky. The second man hadn't paid me any attention and didn't realize I was still alive. I thought for a moment, what were those creatures? To me, they weren't human. They were beasts that drank blood. But for now, I had to save myself. I didn't know if the battle had been won or lost. Would the enemy come looking for survivors in the morning, or would our side? I had to get up somehow and hide in the forest like those two. I knew they were dangerous, but staying on the battlefield wasn't an option. I tried to sit up, and to my amazement, it was easy, far too easy. I moved my arms and legs, feeling no pain. I knew I'd been injured. I remember pulling 2 arrows out of my leg and shoulder. But the wounds were gone, as if they'd never existed. I stood up effortlessly and ran into the forest, as the first rays of sunlight began to break over the horizon. I only stopped deep in the woods and realized I wasn't out of breath. It was as if I hadn't been running at all. I was nervous. What had happened to me? I'd been wounded, but the injuries were gone. I could run without tiring. What else was different? Then I noticed, the forest was still dark, but I could see everything as if it were daytime. I could hear tiny creatures moving softly on the ground, and I could smell them. Then there was something else, a craving, thirst and hunger combined. I didn't know what was happening to me, but only those two strangers could have the answers. But how and where would I find them? How far into the forest had they gone? Were they still there, or already gone? I moved deeper, trying to listen for any sounds. It took a long while, and I saw no one, but then I caught something, a scent that was new to me. It was unfamiliar, yet inviting, something I desired. I knew it was what I had been searching for, the stranger's hiding place. I moved quietly and carefully toward the clearing where the scent came from. Then I heard them. One was laughing weakly, and the other was scolding him. "Everything will be fine." "Yes, you saved me." "I know, I was careless, but I was hungry." "Then drag the wounded into the forest next time. Drinking right on the battlefield, and then getting yourself skewered like a boar." I stopped. I wanted to keep listening to their conversation, but it was too late. They noticed me, and in the blink of an eye, the second man was already standing in front of me, threatening me with his sword. "Ah, what do we have here?" "Stefan, look. Your breakfast has gotten back up." The older man laughed and lowered his sword. "I don't think I'll need this anymore. Come, join us. That's Stefan, and my name is Martin." "What's your name, young warrior?" "Georg." "Ah, a Prussian too?" "Stefan, aren't you ashamed? You almost drained one of your own countrymen." Stefan raised his hand apologetically. "I'm sorry, but I was thirsty." Then he added, "But how are you still alive? I know I drank enough from you, you should be dead." "I don't know either, but after he carried you away, I noticed I felt remarkably healthy, despite my injuries. It's like a miracle, they just vanished." "Wait. Your injuries disappeared?" "Yes, completely. There were just small scars left, at least for a while. But now even those are gone." I pointed to my shoulder, where a scar had been. Both of them laughed and exchanged glances. "Well, Stefan, I think we've found ourselves a new drinking buddy." "What do you mean by that?" "Boy, you drank his blood, didn't you?" "Yes, I had to swallow it when he was lying on top of me, or I would have choked." "Then congratulations, you survived a vampire. That doesn't happen very often." "A vampire? You're really vampires?" I never believed in such things. "Yes, we really are, and you, young friend, will be one in a few days too." "I'm going to become a vampire who drinks blood?" "Yes, unfortunately, that's the price of immortality. Nothing comes for free in this world. But sit with us for now. We've turned you, so we're responsible for you. We'll explain everything and teach you all you need to know to survive." "I don't have a choice, do I?" "No, sadly, the only alternative is death. And you're far too young for that." "No, dying isn't an option. All I've wanted during this war was to survive. And you have, and more than that. You're now immortal." "Well, almost." As you saw, Stefan was careless, and it nearly cost him his neck. So stay with us for now, and everything will turn out fine. And that's how my life as a vampire began.